welcome back to the Mother-Daughter Disney Podcast. My name is Amanda. I'm here with my lovely mother.
Hi, I'm Janette.
And today we're going to talk about some unique things to do in Disney Springs. Specifically, we both came up with 5 and 5, right? Then I have a few honorable mentions as well, too. I'll say normally we like to rank these things, but these are really hard to rank, honestly, because they're all kind of different.
Amanda usually sends me my like little job to do, and she says, you have to do this. And I'm sitting there going, okay, this is what I go to Disney Springs for, but I could not figure out which one was more important than the other.
Yeah, I would say they're all just different things. So we're just going to list them, basically. Yeah. Sorry, let's just start with your first unique thing to do in Disney Springs. Can be any order that you want.
Okay. Entertainment, outdoor entertainment, okay? Mm-hmm. My thing about going to Disney Springs, I love going to Disney Springs because there's just so much to see, okay? You just go there and you just hang out. And there's outdoor entertainment. You know, if I get tired or we get tired and you go and shop and you go and eat, they have all those places with the music playing. They have over on the west side, they have the place where you can just sit down and they usually have some guys or some band or something playing, where behind it is the lake, so that you're just looking at the water and you're just looking at, all the lights and all the people, and you just sit there and listen to the music. Same thing with the big stage over on the other side. The other side, if you get tired or you just want to sit and listen to the music and see what's going on, sometimes the entertainment's really good. Sometimes it's like, I don't have to stay and watch that. But it's really entertaining. There's always something moving. There's always something going. There's always something doing. That I love just being someplace where I can constantly be, I guess, motivated to like walk around and look around and stuff like that. So the outdoor entertainment to me, I put in number 5, because that's just like in between doing everything else, there was something to do.
For sure. No, definitely agree. There's so many different types of entertainment. Because like someone just playing a guitar, right?
Yes.
To like full-on bands
right. They have
playing
that
on a
margarita
stage.
bar that has a guitar player, like you said, right there on the lake. So you're sitting there and you're watching all the people go by. You've got the Rainforest Cafe in the distance with the thing going off and all the lights going on. I love it.
All right. So for my first unique thing to do in Disney Springs, put in general the Rainforest Cafe and the T-Rex restaurant. I wanted to do a specific call out to this because I feel like a lot of people know that this exists, but there is only 15 Rainforest Cafes in the US and there's only one T-Rex restaurant, right? So it's if you want to go to the T-Rex restaurant, it is the most unique restaurant that you can really go to, right?
The only one.
So I that's what I just want to do, because I think the Rainforest Cafe is so great. I feel like there should be more. I'm shocked there aren't more.
I know.
So it's like, I think we should have them everywhere, right? So where I live, the closest one is actually in Atlantic City in New Jersey. Right. And they actually had a second one in New Jersey that recently closed down, which is very sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if I wanted to go to one casually, I'd be going all the way to Atlantic City, New Jersey.
We've been to that one too.
I was going to say, no offense to Atlantic City, but ain't no one trekking out to Atlantic City, New
to go
Jersey
to the Rainforest
pretty
Cafe.
Casually, right? So
we did eat in that cafe.
So yeah, but that's just say I love the Rainforest Cafe. Yeah. I think it is so fun. The theming is so exciting. It's like when you go in there, I love the smell of it with all the water that's there. They have these huge fish tanks as well too that go throughout the entire the entire restaurant. The gift shop is really fun too, with all the Rainforest
and I love all the
animal
prints.
Again, when we went there, for my bachelorette, when we went there, everyone wanted to see it, right? Because when my friends live in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and New Jersey, there's no Rainforest Cafe near them, so not a lot of them had never seen a Rainforest Cafe. So of course we had to go in just to look at it. They were all so floored by it, right? They're like, "This is insane. This is wild." And I'm like, "It really is.
And their food's pretty good.
It is, yeah. It is a unique, fun experience." And it's funny too because my best friend Shannon, she had said that years ago, because again there was one in New Jersey, so sometimes it was pretty far from where we lived. It wasn't like it was close, but people had gone to it from where I grew up at least. And someone had told Shannon that butterflies actually fly above you when you're eating. She always knew like that's probably not true, right? She said that, she told me on my bachelorette, she was like, I never wanted to ask anyone that because I felt like a really stupid question, because she was like, well, of course butterflies are going to fly above you. So when we were there, I was like, yeah, no, butterflies do not fly above you. There are giant butterflies,
yes.
Animatronics.
Giant butterflies.
But it was funny though, because there are things that are above you, the monkeys, the elephants, everything.
Right, everything's moving, yeah.
Yeah, and when we were there, we were lucky that I think it's every half hour there's the thunderstorm or something like that.
The volcano goes off.
Yeah, so it's like every 15 minutes the animals kind of like move around a little bit and make sounds.
They get a little agitated.
Yeah, but every 30 minutes
to scare you. We used to have to put you under the table and
I was scared of thunder when I was a kid. So I think the Rainforest Cafe is so unique. It's a unique experience. Again, outside too, that volcano actually erupts with real fire.
Well, that's what I said.
When
we sit at the bar, the Margaritaville bar, you can see the volcano erupting.
the real fire, and it's hot. When we were there on a hot May day and that fire was going off, feel like I'm burning right now. It is hot.
It is a cool experience.
And just to call out too, the T-Rex restaurant, the only one with dinosaurs. Like if you have a family member that loves dinosaurs, this is the place to go. These are life-size dinosaurs.
Yeah, we have never eaten in that
I've never eaten there, but I've walked through it a few times.
I've eaten in the Rainforest Cafe recently when Daddy and I went. We had lunch at the bar. So it was fun.
Yeah. But again, in the T-Rex restaurant, I've walked through it. And you can walk through it too. They will let you just walk through and take photos if you want to do that. You don't necessarily have to eat in there as well. But again, even just walking through, so cool.
I'm not a big dinosaur person, so it never really interested me.
Neither am I. And the T-Rex restaurant didn't open until me and my brother were a little bit older. So by the time it opened, we were kind of
If you were younger, we would have had to
era.
go there. Right.
Yeah, so if I one day have a child who's really into dinosaurs or something, we will 100% be eating at the T-Rex restaurant. So even if not, we'll definitely be eating at Rainforest Cafe. But again, just to walk through, it's just so fun. Again, just something that's very unique because it's not really anywhere.
You don't get that.
They're very limited.
And the whole feeling when you go in there. I mean, sometimes, like I said, we just go in there to walk around the gift store.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Just because it's just, I love all those little. When you were little, I used to dress you in all those little animal jungle prints. You know, I still have a coffee mug with all the Mickey jungle Mickeys on it.
Yeah. All right. What is next on your list?
Mine was Free People and Zara.
Nice.
Okay, for me, Free People is something that's always online, and anybody who wears Free People knows that it's when you order it and get it, because it could be the best thing you've ever seen, and it could be the worst piece you've ever seen. Free People to me is a great place to shop, and that's the biggest, best store because it's a big, gigantic store, and it showcases their main pieces that are being shown, at the time online or in their catalogs. So that's my first beeline when we're shopping. Is I love to go into Free People. Sometimes I buy, sometimes I don't, but at least I get to touch and feel and see the stuff in person. I love Free People. The other one is Zara. Zara is like just the biggest Zara I've ever been in. It's hard pressed. It's not to do anything. And as an honorable mention, Uniqlo, because I bought so many things from them that I just feel like we don't have those stores near me. And I just love going there because I can enjoy myself.
No, for sure. No, I definitely agree. I feel like, again, just going off Free People and Zara, there's just so many stores, right?
Yes.
In a general sense,
yes,
like
but
unique
those
stores are hard to find.
Those three are like my favorite little cluster.
I definitely agree. I think those are really nice stores, really well laid out. Again, and it's also fun too when you are in Disney that sometimes you do get trapped in the Disney bubble, that it's nice to see something not Disney, right? Yes. It's like you get a little break, a little moment reprieve from Disney. Yes. All right. And next up on my list, I have Swirls on the Water. So this is where you can get those Dole Whip flights. So Swirls on the Water is technically a stand, and it's actually right outside of the Rainforest Cafe. Now, Swirls on the Water, you can get you can get Dole Whip, of course, which again, there's only a few places on Disney property you can get Dole Whip. So this is one of the places, and also one of the most easily accessible places since you don't have to go in the park. You don't have to trek all the way to Polynesian Resort, right? You can just go straight to Disney Springs. It has free parking, and you get yourself the famous Dole Whip, right? But they have other soft serve ice creams as well too. So again, you can get your regular vanilla soft serve, the salted caramel soft serve. They have a lime one that people really like. I've never noticed them. A lime coconut that people also really like too. And again, they always have I feel like they always have limited time like Dole Whips, right?
Yes, they always
crazy
have some kind
flavors,
of
seasonal flavors. Again, you get the flights with the alcohol in it too. Again, when I went on my bachelorette, a few of my friends got the Dole Whip flight with the alcohol in it. They all really wanted to taste a Dole Whip and have, the fun alcohol ones.
Right.
So for instance, right now, the current Dole Whip sampler, of course, has the pineapple swirl with the vanilla soft swirl. There's a pomegranate one in them with chocolate soft serve and holiday sprinkles, and then the lime and coconut swirl with graham cracker and toasted coconut flake.
Oh my God.
They also have the Mickey gingerbread cone right now. We're still filming this in December, if I'm being honest.
We have to go there now because now you've got me interested. I always say that we need to go to Disney just for a week and not go to the park.
Yeah, just go and eat it.
So that we can just eat at all these places, because there are so many like interesting things to say. Oh, let's go eat that. And then what happens is we eat one little meal and go, I'm too full. I don't want dessert or I don't want this. And I'm like, we didn't get that.
I know. But I realize we're dating ourselves because we're filming this in December still. But by the time this comes out is like the end of January.
Yeah, I know.
So me being like the limited time offers of the Mickey gingerbread cone, I'm sure this will change by January.
They'll have something new.
But they did have that for December as well as a tropical holiday tree sundae. So again, just to say they have a lot of fun seasonal flavors, which is always really fun to see, especially if you're a Disney local. That is like you can always get something new, right? It's always fun to have something new to try. And again, they always look so cute, really Instagram worthy too. And again, if you're a big ice cream person, I think this is one of the places to go for sure. All right, what's next on your list?
Marimoto Asia.
I almost put this one on my list, but I figured you'd have it.
Marimoto Asia is one of my favorite restaurants in Disney Springs. Although the only thing I really, 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 really love in there, and actually probably it should be moved moved up compared to other things. Because of my eating habits these days, it's kind of tough, but I love their ribs. Their ribs are the best ribs I've ever had. I mean, the ribs are just out of this world. So I stuck it in there, and then afterwards I said, it probably should be number one in my book. But Marimoto Asia is just something that whenever I say, I really want their ribs. And we haven't gone there in a while. We haven't been to Marimoto Asia in a while. It's harder for everybody else because I want to go eat the ribs.
You can eat there.
But I tell you, I think it's the best ribs on the world. They just
like you said too, when we go, we only go for a few days at a time, and there's so many places you want to eat.
So many things to pick from.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yes, it's just so many things to pick from. I always say that I want to go to Disney just for a week and just every day eat in a different place that we haven't eaten before, because there's so many things to try and so many things to do that you just can't fit it in. We don't eat that much.
Like I was saying, the ribs at Marimoto Asia, I've never had them because I'm vegetarian.
She's a vegetarian, but let me tell you, they are the best ribs I have ever had.
Yeah,
they are just so tender and so delicious.
All the vegetarian food I've had there has been great. So I love Marimoto Asia.
Yes, I love the atmosphere. Everybody knows.
I agree too.
By now, I'm an atmosphere person. If I'm going to eat,
those
atmosphere.
Chandeliers are so beautiful.
Atmosphere plays into my dining experience. If I'm going to go out for an expensive meal, I want that meal to be a full experience. I want to experience the atmosphere. I want good service. I want good food. It doesn't have to be the biggest, fanciest place, but it has to have atmosphere.
All right, next up on my list, I have Emirates Patisserie Cake Decorating Experience. So at Emirates Patisserie, you can actually sign up. It is a little pricey, but I would say, it's definitely something fun, I would say. But they will give you you would decorate a character dome cake. So when you've gone to Emirates Patisserie, you'll see them like along the side. So they have all the characters. And so they'll give you the cake, right? So that you have the cake, and then one of their pastry artists will walk you through step by step on how to decorate it for whatever character they may be decorating it for. They do say you need to be 5 years of older to participate. Your one reservation can be 2 guests. So that's something to note as well.
A couple can go and do it.
Yes, a couple can go.
2 kids or 2 sisters. Because you're going to share that cake.
Yes, and of course, you got to take the cake home. So it is 90 minutes of the cake decorating experience. Again, you'll decorate your cakes together. So you each basically a cake. It says that on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so 4 days a week, they do the Mickey Mouse dome cake. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it's the Emirates choice. So they do like another character of their choice.
Or whatever they decide to. Yeah. I've seen their Donald Duck cake. It's adorable. Yeah.
So the Mickey Mouse dome cake features a chocolate chiffon cake, milk chocolate mousse, and orange pâte de fruit jelly. Then right now until, I guess I shouldn't even say this because it's only until January 4th, but the Emirates Choice Dome Cake is a seasonal cake. So at the moment, again, we're filming this in December. It's a gingerbread chiffon cake with marshmallow mousse. But of course, they probably change that flavor out seasonally.
Right, they'll change it out.
And again, the decoration will be another character, whether it's Minnie, Donald, Goofy, who knows who it may be. They do have beverages that are included. So you can get coffees, teas, or some select alcoholic beverages, which makes sense when I tell you the price of this. So, and again, you get to take your cake home with you. So for this 90-minute experience, the 90 experience does cover 2 guests. So this is the price for 2 people to go to decorate the one cake that you get to take home. How much do you think it is?
Probably about $100 more. $150. Oh my God!
It is $199.
So you're paying $100 a person.
Yep. To have 2
because even
guests
if you just go one person, you're
cake.
Still paying the same money.
And it says you can pay $50 extra if you want to do a second cake. So if you want to do 2 cakes, it could be $250 for 2 cakes or $200 for 2 guests and 1 cake.
Okay. No, I don't need to decorate it. If I wanted a cake, I'd just buy it and eat it. Okay.
Anyway, this is an experience, right?
Yes, it's an experience.
A unique experience in Disney Springs you can only do here, right? And I've seen people do reviews of this online, and they do say it is very fun to do, right? So again, if you're doing something, you want to do something different, something fun, you've already done everything else, you're looking for a unique experience, maybe this is something to do, right? Or maybe if you have a child who it wants to be a baker one day or something like that, maybe this could be a fun experience for them to decorate a cake alongside a Disney pastry artist. So, all right, what is in your next slot?
Well, my other one was sort of like a tie with Marimoto Asia is Summer House.
Okay, yeah.
I love Summer House. I know it's become our go-to for the first night we go there. We always go straight to Summer House and have the roasted artichoke, which is I love artichokes.
I love artichoke too.
I don't cook them myself.
That's one of the main reasons why I was like, we're going to Summer House.
Summer House.
To make an artichoke is a lot of work.
Yeah. Last few times we've been there, the service is great. The staff is really nice. It's comfortable. The tables are comfortable. The chairs are comfortable. The atmosphere makes me feel like I'm in Florida. And I think that's what gets me is that I'm in Florida. I don't want to sit in a restaurant all the time that doesn't look like Florida. If I'm going to be out in Florida, then I want to.
I think it's actually supposed to be a California style.
I don't care. It feels like Florida.
I was going to say it's pretty similar to Florida.
Yes, it's that California cuisine style, but it still feels like Florida because it's all that bright, light, palm tree feeling. And you're in Florida. So, that's when you're eating out in Florida. Now, when you're in the parks, you're eating the atmosphere of the park itself, like Epcot, the different countries and the different things. But when I'm out in Disney Springs, I want to eat for the atmosphere. And one of those things of eating out in the atmosphere is Summer House. Honorable mention for me on that one is Boathouse, because they have that outdoor deck that we sat on where you see the boats going and the things going on. And their food is also phenomenal and the service is great. So I think that I put it there because if I'm going, like I said, we were laughing when we said the 5 things in Disney Springs. What do I go to Disney Springs for? I go to eat and drink and shop.
We were saying it's like almost all of mine have to do with food except for one.
Yes, eat, drink, and shop. I mean, that's what we go there for. There's a couple of other places that are interesting, but Marimoto Asia, I think, and Summer House are the 2 that I actually love eating at in Disney Springs.
No, I agree. I love Marimoto Asia and I love Summer House on the Lake. I almost put this in there. I didn't even put in my honorable mentions, was doing like a cookie crawl throughout Disney Springs, because there are a lot of places
There's a lot
for
of different
sweets,
places that have
for
sweets.
cookies specifically. The Summer House on the Lake is also known for their cookies specifically. They have like a cookie bar right in the front when you get there.
And it is amazing. They have so many choices.
Yep, and you don't need to sit down in the rush and get a cookie. You can just get a cookie and go.
Get it.
You can also get a cookie when you sit down too, have it warmed up with a glass of milk.
They'll warm it up with ice cream.
Yep.
And
But I thought about doing a cookie crawl with like that, just with the Disney cookies, with Gideon's and stuff like that. I ended up not putting that on, not even in my honorable mentions, but that's something you can do as well too. It would be really fun to try out the
like I said, my problem is once I eat the food, I say, I'm not hungry. So, but you can get the cookies and bring them back to the room.
Yeah, and the cookies last, obviously.
Yes.
So, and again, they always have fun seasonal flavors too.
They have good selection.
All right, up next on my list, this is where I have at Uniqlo, you can make custom embroidered or print bags.
She likes the bags. Yeah, Amanda loves her bags.
So it's this when you walk into Uniqlo, it's this massive thing that's kind of in the center of Uniqlo. They used to only do print bags, but now they have embroidered bags too, which is pretty cool. So you basically go up to this little screen and I guess you pick the size of the bag first, or I guess you can do it in tandem, right? There's different size bags. They have tote bags, kind of like the crossbody bags that people really like nowadays, smaller bags, bigger bags, little backpacks as well too. So lots of bag shapes that you can pick, and then you can go through on their screen. They'll have all different like printed ideas, right? So movies, characters, quotes, sayings, maybe more abstract coloring or something like that. You can pick the print, or again, now they have embroidery. The embroidery mainly looks like the Disney characters. So you can pick like which Disney character you kind of want it to be like freshly embroidered on whatever you've picked to have it embroidered on. So let's say you pick like a tote bag, you can have like Mickey embroidered onto your tote bag or something. And then you can bring that, then they'll do it right there for you, right? So you print out the little ticket.
I didn't know they did embroidery at this point. I thought they just did
screen So embroidery is new. They just brought in embroidery. So again, they used to only do print. Now they have embroidery as well. I don't know if you can do it on clothing yet. I'm assuming probably one day they'll have it with clothing, but at least for right now, it's focused on bags, I would say. But anyway, though, so you print out your little ticket, and then the cast member will do it for you right there. So you get like a freshly printed or embroidered bag in the style bag that you want, or the style, item that you want, which I think is really fun to do. And so it's a fun little experience. It's also not that expensive. It's only, I think,
that's what I love about that store.
Yeah, it depends on the bag size. Like some of the bags are huge, obviously, so that maybe those ones would be more like $40, $50. But then some of the smaller bags aren't only like maybe $20 to $30, something like that.
Even
so
they're closed. That's why I like going there.
Yeah, so it's like a fun, unique little thing, especially if you're into bags, right? And it's like I'm a big tote person, so I need to be careful with when I buy tote bags. I've also recently bought another tote bag, which I definitely did not need, but I purchased it anyway, right? It's not even a Disney thing; it's something else. But I was just saying I have to be careful when buying tote bags for myself. But I have seen it; I've always wanted to do it, but I also don't need any more tote bags. But again, a unique, fun thing you can do, because I don't think you can do this at other Uniqlos, or if you can, it's not always like Disney themed the way this one is very Disney themed, obviously. So, but Ari, what is in your final item on your list?
Classic Disney store. I love the classic Disney store. I don't always buy something anymore because at my age and at my time with all the stuff I've got, I don't need any more Disney merchandise. But I think that it's amazing to me that every season that you go in that's different, there's different merchandise. I love to look at the baby stuff. I love to look at the stuffed animals. I love to look at the ears. I love to look at the hats. I love to look at everything. So my thing of walking through the Disney store is almost like going through a museum for me, because it's just the different, what they're portraying at the time. So I just love, and talk about big. I mean, even to cover the whole store takes a while to go and look by and just see all of the different merchandise and the toys and the yearly merchandise that they come out with for that year and that thing. And I've got so much from that store over the years that I've, accumulated that that's one of the things you do in Disney Springs. I mean, they have most of the same, all the merchandise technically that's in the Disney store is probably spread through the park. And of course, the parks have their own merchandise. That's why we go through those stores. I don't look at the general merchandise in those stores. Those stores, I'm looking at what's in the parks. But for the Disney store, for me, it's just interesting to see how they decorate for the season and what they're merchandising and what they're showcasing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it's such a fun experience too, just to walk through that store, just to see what's there. Yes. And again, to see everything all in one place. It's a little chaotic, but I think it's really fun too at the same time.
And I don't think we've ever gone to Disney Springs without walking through that store. We've missed other stores. Like, sometimes we don't get over to the art gallery or over to the Christmas store or over to certain things. But we have never, ever gone to Disney Springs without going through that store.
No, definitely agree. All right, so my final thing on my main list, and then I do have 3 honorable mentions because it was hard to pick. But my final thing on my main list is the make your own Mickey bar or Rice Krispie treat at Goofy Candy Co.
Oh, you did that, yes.
So you can go into Goofy Candy Co. now, and they basically have little sheets of paper. You get your little sheet of paper, and then you put your name on it, and then they have all these little check boxes on it, right? So you have your check boxes of like, what do you want to put on your Mickey bar or your Rice Krispie treat? Basically, all they're going to do is just dump a bunch of toppings on top of it. It's really not that crazy or that fancy, if I'm being really honest, but it is fun, right? Yeah. So it's like, if you're a big Mickey bar person, you can go, you can get your Mickey bar, and then you can say like, these are the toppings I want. I want like cookie crumble, I want like hot fudge on it, or caramel sauce. Or again, you can do as many toppings as you want to. They do have toppings and then like premium toppings. So like sprinkles is obviously like, not a premium topping.
How do they keep it on the Mickey bar?
So they give it to you on a plate. So, or you can do whipped cream on it too. So yeah, so they'll put all the toppings and give it to you, hand it to you on a plate for the Mickey bars. For the Rice Krispie treat, they hand it to me in a bag. So it's kind of like when you purchase them like in the parks, they're sort of like wrapped up in the little bag when they're pre-made. They give it to you in a little bag and then you can eat out of the bag basically. And so it's very fun to do. I did do it. I got a Rice Krispie treat. I put all these toppings on it. And after I did it, I was like, actually, I kind of prefer it with no toppings. Right. I prefer it just with like the regular chocolate and just some M&Ms on it, right? It's like nothing too crazy, right? So that's when I found out when I was doing it. But I had to do it because I was just like, well,
eating the kitchen
really
sink ice cream sundae. It's like,
you put a bunch of stuff on it.
Seems interesting until there's too much stuff.
I would say it's a little messy to eat for sure.
I was going to say, how do they keep it all on the bar?
Especially depending how many, because you just eat it over the plate basically.
No, but how do they get it to stick to the bar?
It doesn't really stick to the bar.
I was going to say, because that coating on that bar.
I will shout out to my Bachelorette vlog that is live now actually, if you want to go watch my hour-and-a-half Bachelorette vlog.
Oh, that's right. You did it on there.
There's a clip in there. It's also on my Instagram as well too, of my friend Tyler, that I videoed him with his Mickey bar because he got the Mickey bar with all the toppings, whipped cream, sprinkles, everything, a cherry I think too. And then I took a photo of it, and then before he ate it, he was like, oh, you don't want a video of me eating it? And I was like, okay. So I took the camera back out, filmed it. As he filmed it, he kind of like leaned over because he didn't want to get it on himself, but in doing so, entire dollop of whipped cream just fell off the other side and onto the floor. It was so funny because it was like, we've been in the store for like 2 minutes, right? It's like already we're making all this mess. And it was just funnier too because you'll hear my friend Caitlin laugh in the video because she's like, she didn't realize I was recording. So first we're like, oh, sorry, you dropped your whipped cream. I was like, oh my gosh, not Amanda recording this. It's like, it was so funny though. But to answer, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really stick to the bar. It's just a bunch of toppings on these items, but it is still very fun to do.
But it's like anything else. People look at it and go, oh, I want that.
Yeah, it's just, I would say it's just fun to do. And it's like not that expensive. It's really the same price as what you pay for a Mickey bar, maybe like a few dollars more for the toppings. So it's nothing that crazy. But for instance, if you like a Mickey bar and you liked whipped cream, for instance, or chocolate sauce or caramel sauce, you can put that stuff on it. Or like sprinkles, like you can put that on it, right? So it's
the lesson here is be careful how much you put on.
Yeah, a bit more of an experience. And just note, this is the only location you can do this at. You cannot do this when you're in the parks or anywhere else. So it's only at Goofy Candy Co. in Disney Springs can you customize your Mickey bar or your Rice Krispie treat. And I'll say too, I didn't even know you could do the Rice Krispie treat until I was standing right there. I was going to get a Mickey bar, and then I saw you could do the Rice Krispie treat, so I switched to the Rice Krispie treat. And then Shannon did the Mickey bar too, actually, but she didn't put whipped cream on hers, I don't think. So, but anyway though, so all right, now I have a few honorable mentions. The first off, you kind of mentioned it before, was the Christmas store. But specifically with the Christmas store is that you can get customized ornaments year round.
Yes.
And I think that's really unique in the sense that at least where I live, I cannot get customized ornaments anywhere in person unless I get it online. So it's really cool to go into a store and you can get a customized ornament, especially if you're on like a vacation, right? A lot of people I know will get an ornament for when they're on vacation with the year that they're on vacation.
Yes. And most vacation spots have those stores.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of maybe do a customization, but not as big as what Disney does.
This is a massive store. Yes. This is huge, right? It's
and
a huge store, a lot of ornaments.
Of customization.
So you get a customized ornament. I will say you can get a customized ornament in Magic Kingdom as well too. However, sometimes the wait for that can be a little bit long.
Longer.
Now, sometimes Magic Kingdom, you're in the park all day, so it's no big deal. But at the same time, there's like, you know, if you want a little bit quicker, Disney Springs usually only has like an hour, maybe 2 hours of a wait. It's not usually that long.
So you can do it, go to dinner and go back.
Yeah,
and get
same
it.
thing. So, and again, too, you don't have to go into the park either to get a customized ornament, which is really fun. The other thing I wanted to note was Splitsville for bowling. This is the only place on all of Disney property you can go bowling. So I just thought it'd be important to just give a little
we just
shout
never
out.
got to do it. We were supposed to do it one time, and we just never got to do it.
Now, I'll say I'm not a big bowler. I'm not a bowling person, so I have really no interest in bowling, which is why we never tried to do it again because none of us were really big bowlers. But yeah, I've heard Splitsville is very fun. I mean, like Splitsville
Good
itself is a
music,
chain.
good bowling,
so,
good food.
Yeah,
Food
I've
is
heard
good.
very positive things about Splitsville, so I just want to call out only place to go bowling on Disney property. One other thing I wanted to call out, so technically I have 4 honorable mentions, is just Cirque du Soleil. That's just a very unique thing that's just not everywhere in the U.S. at least. So it's like if you want to see a Cirque du Soleil show, that's a very unique experience
That's a good place
too.
to see it, yeah.
And last but not least is the Ghirardelli store. Now, I want to shout out the Ghirardelli store specifically because Ghirardelli has many locations in California, but outside of California, there's only 5 locations in the U.S., and that is in Disney Springs, New York City, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, and Las Vegas. So if you are not in the state of California, those are the only 5 locations you can get classic Ghirardelli chocolate or Ghirardelli
That's not one of mine because by the time we get to Ghirardelli, they eat Ghirardelli. I sit and watch.
But I love Ghirardelli ice cream. I think the way that they craft their ice cream and their chocolate is just so amazing, honestly. And there used to be one in Boston, and it sadly closed during COVID.
That's right. I remember
Did
that.
not make the COVID hit, unfortunately. So now the next one closest to where we live is in New York City. But anyway, though, but just to say, I just think that's unique in the sense that there's only 5 outside of the state of California. So if you do not live in California, you will not be able to go to a Ghirardelli, right? So I just thought it would be fun to call that out. And honestly, most of the Ghirardellis are in San Francisco. There are throughout the state of California.
We were actually to the main one in San Francisco.
But again, a lot of them are just like scattered throughout the state of California. But I think Ghirardelli is so good. I think their ice creams are just so good.
See, by the time I get to that,
I love it.
I can't. I just can't. Just too full.
I know. The best part ever was my mom was like, I'm going to have dessert tonight. I'm going to splurge. I'm excited to have Ghirardelli ice cream. So when we get there, there's this big menu, right, of all these sundaes. And she's looking at these sundaes being like, oh my gosh, these are so big. Which one should I get? You know, we're about to get up to the person to order. And she's like, well, which sundae you're going to get? And I told her, it's like, well, I'm probably just going to get 2 scoops. And she goes like, you can do that?
I was shocked.
And I was like, well, it's an ice cream place. I'm like, yeah, I just get 2 scoops.
That's not on the menu.
It's not. No,
okay?
It's deceiving.
They give you that menu thinking like, oh, I have to order one of these big sundaes and I'm never going to be able to finish that. We're going to spend like $12 to get a cup of ice cream that I'm going to take 2 bites and say, I'm full, you know? But I'm a food eater, not an ice cream eater.
I know. So me being like, well, I just want cookie dough and make chocolate chip ice cream with some sprinkles and that's it. And she's like, you can just get a scoop. She's like, well, I'm just getting a scoop.
Right, I would love just a scoop with some sprinkles on it.
So just to know, don't be fooled by the menu.
Yes, don't be fooled by that menu.
You can just get a scoop.
Although
of
I
ice
have
cream.
to say that when they first started, the sundaes used to be gigantic.
Yeah, they used to be
They were very
massive.
expensive, very big, very gigantic sundaes. I have to admit now, they have cut it down to where they do serve some sundaes that are not so over the top that if you really do want a sundae, because some of them look really good.
They are.
If you really do want to splurge.
Yeah, it's like a good cup of ice cream.
Yes,
like 3 scoops maybe.
It's still a good cup of ice cream, but it's not what it used to be. So
and it's still, I think, pretty reasonably priced, honestly.
Yes.
For what you're getting, it's like, this is actually pretty reasonable.
Oh, God, it's the same as every place. It's not like they're overcharging you
it's not like
compared
you're
to
paying
other
$50
places.
for this,
No,
right? No.
They're not overcharging you compared to other ice cream
Yeah, like
places.
$10 to $20 or something.
Right.
So, but again, I just think their quality is
That was
just so
funny,
good.
yes.
Tastes amazing, honestly. I do love getting ice cream here. Some of the best ice cream kind of around, if I'm being honest. Now, I know there's a lot of talk because there are other ice cream places, you know, in Disney Springs. The other one, I'm blanking on what it's called, but the other one has like those crazy flavors and stuff. But I'm not a crazy flavor person. I just like regular, I'm kind of boring. I like normal,
That's me. I
like plain flavors, I should say.
I call it the original. I like the original.
I don't need any crazy flavors. I just like plain flavors. So my favorite flavor usually is cookie dough ice cream. I do like a good mint chocolate chip too sometimes, but really cookie dough is the main one. And sometimes even just vanilla is good too.
Yeah,
so
I'm a very plain
flavors and just with some chocolate sprinkles. I'm not a big topping person, honestly, when it comes to that. If I could get gummy bears on it, I do.
And I don't. Oh yes, I don't understand
Otherwise.
that. I never understood gummy bears and ice cream, but that's beside the point. I don't eat gummy bears to begin with, but just frozen in ice cream doesn't do anything for me. But my attitude about that is it's the same sense. I like if I was going to put a topping on my ice cream, I want one on top.
Yeah,
or maybe
like one
just
or
a little
two.
sauce with maybe a little something with nuts or something on
just
top
a
of
little
it.
bit. Nothing
Not
crazy.
everything at once, because everything blends into each other, and then you're just eating one big thing of soup.
For sure.
Yeah.
But just had to call out the Ghirardelli store. But all right, that is our 10 unique things to do in Disney Springs with a few honorable mentions there. So definitely let us know, what is a unique thing that you like to do in Disney Springs? There's a lot. Honestly, there's so much that we could have gone
There's
into
just
as
so
well
much.
too, like things that we didn't even mention or talk about, right? But yeah, definitely let us know on our Instagram, Almost Amanda X. It will be linked in the description below. Now we can transition into a little bit of Disney news. Now, as I said before, we are pre-recording this podcast. It is still 2025 as we're recording in December, and this is coming out in like towards the end of January, I would say. So instead of doing some Disney news, I think maybe, so in our previous podcast, we talked about some of the things that are coming to the Disney parks in 2026. So I thought maybe we can just both pick something that we were both looking forward to in 2026 instead. So for instance, one of the things I'm really looking forward to actually is the new Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, where you can remove the blaster and play with the blaster.
See, I don't do the rock and roller coaster thing, so I won't see. I can go see the Muppets, but that doesn't do anything to me. The rock and the spin,
Buzz
because we do
Lightyear
all
Space
get
Ranger
into
spin.
it when we get into it, and if it's easier and easier to control and do like things, and it's fixed so that some people are not getting anything and whatever. Once it's refurbished, that's my thing. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that so much because, again, the one in Magic Kingdom was crafted first, of course, right?
Yes.
And then they crafted the one in Disneyland, and we're like,
Right.
wow, this is way easier
Yes.
and way better. There is no reason for that little blaster.
And I think
to be
it's
stuck
been
to the
worn out
ride.
so that a lot of things are not working like they should be working.
Yeah.
So I think once they refurbish it.
So I'm very excited for that as well too. I would say that's my number one thing I'm excited for. And so again, I have played it with the little blaster out of the little holster in Disneyland and in Disneyland Paris as well. So it's very fun when you can, and you do a lot better at the game.
Yes,
when
a lot
you can
better
do
at the
that.
scoring,
That is
right.
for sure. All right, that brings us to our final segment of the podcast, our Disney memory. Steve, a Disney memory for today's podcast.
Well, the Disney memory is funny because when we talk about Disney Springs, I just saw an Instagram post that said, okay, it's whatever it is, stop calling it Downtown Disney. Okay, so obviously at my age, I've been to Downtown Disney. That was what I did when I first
Well, it was
used to
called
go.
Downtown Disney for many, many years.
Yes, for
So
many,
that's why
many
people
years it
still
was
call
called
that.
Downtown Disney. Then they decided to change it and start building all this extra stuff, adding this, adding that.
They also wanted to differentiate it from the Downtown Disney and Disneyland, because that one is still Downtown Disney. So that's why they wanted the two different names, to have Downtown Disney and Disneyland, and then
So
Disney
that when you talk
Springs
about
in
it, you know which
Florida.
one you're talking about. Okay. But you have to understand that my personality was, I do not like change.
Yeah.
So I was not happy. I was not happy.
And I feel
about-
like it's no big deal if you still call it Downtown Disney.
Right.
Whatever.
No, but not even the name.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I saw something today
Yeah.
that reminded me that, they changed the name. Okay, fine. But when they started talking about adding all the stuff they were adding and doing all the shopping and doing all this and doing all that, when you first think about it, you say to yourself nostalgically, I don't want it to change. I want it to just be the Disney. I don't want it to be this and I don't want it to be that. Now I look at it and go, oh my God. I mean, it's like, it's
Can't
great.
even picture what it used to be.
Yes, they've outdone themselves. The restaurants are great. The bars are great. The shopping's great. You still have the classic Disney stuff, so you can do that, or you can immerse yourself in the other stuff. So I have to admit, in the long run, but my memory is that when they were first talking about this, I'm like, oh, what are they going to do? How are they going to do that? They're going to change it. I don't like them changing it.
But now you love the change.
Now I love the change.
why
So
we
that's
must
my memory.
That's why you must embrace
Yes.
change.
When you talk about Disney Springs, and I think about it, only because today that popped up if somebody's saying something, I was like, yes, for a long time, just like Hollywood Studios, I called MGM for so long, because you're so used to it. But like I said, not the name change itself, but just the whole idea of changing Downtown Disney to Disney Springs was something that I kept looking at going, how are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? It's not going to be right. It's just going to take the whole charm away from it. But they didn't. They did a good job.
No, I agree. No, I feel like I do better with change than most people.
Yeah, I don't do well with
I don't
change.
always mind change. I
Yes.
feel like I've always embraced change within my life pretty well overall, I would say. But yeah, but I would definitely agree. I think the changes they made to Disney Springs is really great and for
Yes.
the better. Now, I know there are a lot of Pleasure Island people out there who still miss the old Pleasure Island from way back when.
Well,
right?
I think the Pleasure Island, because of what it was,
I think it limited the area is what
it limited
is.
the area,
Yeah.
but if you were able to go and see it, it was such a great experience that people miss that experience.
For sure.
But what they have now, just yes, it just draws in everybody as opposed to just the people that would go to Pleasure Island. More families, more stuff, more things going on. But yes, that's just the difference. Is that Pleasure Island was back then. This This is a whole new different thing.
And we actually have a whole podcast episode on what Pleasure Island is. So if
Yes.
you're being like, what is that? A whole
Yes.
podcast Disney history we did on Pleasure Island. So definitely make sure you go listen to that as well. But I would say for my quick memory, I think one of the ones I had, so when I did my Rice Krispie treat, when I made it on my bachelorette with my friends, I got, there was a cookie crumble was one of the options for the topping. So I thought, for some reason in my head, I thought it meant like chocolate chip cookie crumble. It wasn't. It was Oreo cookie crumble.
It's always Oreo. Yes.
I didn't know that. I don't know why I assumed they would be chocolate chip cookie, because not that I dislike Oreos, but Oreos are not my favorite, I would say. So when it was Oreo crumble.
They're easier to crush.
Yeah, when it was Oreo crumble, and when I say they put a lot of Oreo crumble on it, I was like, wow, this is more Oreo crumble than I would have preferred, if I'm being honest. And then I also had M&Ms on it too, I remember. But I remember it was a little breezy that day, so it's actually caught on film. So I went to go eat it, and my friend, she had gifted me this beautiful little bag with like this Disney stuff on it, and it was cream color because I was my bachelorette, so it was like white, right? So everything I was wearing was white. And so I went to go take a bite of it, and then the wind blew, and all of the Oreo crumble went everywhere, into my eyes, into the bag, all over the floor. It was wild. I was like, there is Oreo crumble everywhere right now. So as I said, when my mom was like, how does it stick to the item? It does not stick to the item. It simply just sits on top of the item. So, but it was quite funny though. I remember Shannon was laughing at me.
You're not eating most of these
happened.
items. You're just getting it for the aesthetic look when they give it to you.
Yeah, you're getting it for fun and for the taste as well. Like it tasted like Oreo, right?
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It still stayed
it was still
behind.
very good. It ended up being the whole thing. But I would say overall, I don't love Oreo, so I should not have gotten the Oreo crumble, honestly. And I realized they can't say Oreo crumble because they can't have the trademark name in it. But I also feel like it should have said like chocolate cookie crumble or something, because I don't know why I thought it was chocolate chip cookie and not Oreo. But anyway, though, it was still very good. It was very humorous, especially because Tyler had spilled his whipped cream like moments before, and then here I am with Oreo everywhere.
Oreo crumbs.
But anyway, thanks everyone for listening to this episode of the podcast. Make sure you give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. And make sure you follow us on our social media. I have it linked in the description, Almost Amanda X. And again, let us know what are your unique things that you like to do in Disney Springs. We would love to know. I'm sure we'll probably do a part 2 to this one day, because again, there's so many other things we can talk about with Disney Springs. And I feel like we need to do more episodes on Disney Springs as well too, because I love Disney Springs, and most of our episodes are on the parks or on the movies or something like that. But Disney Springs is important. I want to talk about Disney Springs more. So, all right, but until next time, we'll see you real soon.
Bye.